Project Greenlight's a contest for screenwriting and directing.
Amateur people who've never made a movie before get a chance to do just that.
We changed the contest this year. There were separate categories of writing and directing.
The Battle Shaker Heights is a great coming-of-age story.
It's about this kid, Kelly, who's pissed off at the hand he's been dealt by life.
Because I had no idea how to get from where I was to being a Hollywood director.
I mean, I think it'd be pretty intense for them to sort of go from whatever they've been doing to literally coming to work every day and trying to make this movie.
People can see how hard it is to do this. We want to show things as they really are.
We are just over 3 weeks away from shooting. There's still so much left to do and so little time.
They still need to hire the key crew, lock the locations, and finalize the script. But the biggest concern is casting.
We've been casting the Battle of Shaker Heights for 3 weeks, and we have cast no one.
Unfortunately, I already have information on casting. None of it good. Karen said no, and Kate Capshaw said no.
Kate Capshaw passed on the role of Eve, and Kieran Culkin passed on the role of Kelly, that being the most important one.
At this point on the last Project Greenlight, we had all the roles cast except for one, so this is definitely not a good situation. Kieran and Kate Capshaw passed. I guess the panic is mostly from me and Jeff Bayless, which is we need somebody that we can put on the poster of this movie that, you know, people will recognize or want to see.
Ephraim?
Yes, what's going on?
Liv Tyler passed on the script.
That is not good news at all.
I'm sorry, guys. We tried everything we could with Liv.
Well, I appreciate it.
I maybe have a touch of anxiety around it, but I still feel positive that we're gonna get the cast that we were supposed to get all along. Kyle keeps saying that we're ahead of the game. He's like, dude, we're ahead of the game. We're fine. I'm like, I don't see that.
Fuck. And how important are actors? Can you make the movie without actors?
He would be so fabulous. I mean, he would be so fabulous.
What I'm concerned about now is that we have a very short list of options for Kelly.
I feel like some dark horse is going to come out, just pop out and be our Kelly. That's what
I'd be into that.
I wish we had more time. Look out. For a dark horse.
We want to hook you up with both.
Joseph is bringing in people for Kelly and Bart to play them off each other to see if there are any connections where the sparks fly. Shortly before we went in to see these different people, Joseph came into our office and was like, your Kelly is here. He's here. He's here.
It was him. I mean, he's been in a movie that did really well, and now he was like going back and forth whether he wanted to come in or not. He said yes, and he's amazing. Oh, that's great. God, go look. You gotta go look at him. Okay.
Joseph has a tendency to be very dramatic about certain things. I'm like, all right, Joseph, we'll see, because sometimes our opinions are not the same.
This is one of the directors, Ephraim. Hi.
This is Shia.
What's your name? Shia.
No, I don't know the range of his acting, but I think he's a funny little fucker. So with that, he's perfect for Kelly. Has a little bit of anger in him, but he's charming. He could be cuter, but he's not, but it's okay. And that he's Kelly. It's Kelly, it's Kelly.
He seemed nice, but I'm like, he doesn't look like the way I thought Kelly would look.
Thanks for coming in. No problem.
Hi, Ephraim. Good to meet you. Hi, Laura. I'm Kyle.
Hi.
Good to meet you.
The Kelly character is going to require someone who's really capable of really great comic timing and emotional range. So it's a tall order for a 17-year-old.
You know, I don't feel comfortable calling anything done since the Renaissance painting, you know. We might have more experimental interaction with the picture surface, but, you know, our skills have suffered from it a great deal.
The first time Shia read for us, I wasn't sure what I thought about him personally because he had sort of a weird, sort of loud energy, and I was like, I'm not sure if he's really Kelly.
You paint?
You know, kind of. My mom's an artist.
So?
I totally fucked this whole thing. Tennis injury, you paint. Let me start from there. Sorry, I don't have the lines.
Nice work.
You did a great job.
That is great.
What'd you guys think?
My biggest concern was likability, whether or not I would watch him for 2 hours and really like him.
God, if those fuckers don't get him, then I'm in trouble here, because they're gonna miss out on something great.
So what I want to do now is just go ahead. We've seen them all anyways. I want you to mix and match them, starting to do the Bart and the Kelly scenes.
Bart is the main character, Kelly's best friend. He's a smart guy with a dry sense of humor and some anger.
You just do whatever you want, and consequences, they don't matter to you, do they?
The front runner for Bart is Eldon. We just really like what he brings to the table.
I noticed your magnolias, very fine specimens. It was real?
That has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it, man.
The more Shia came in and read, because he read several times throughout the day with different people, and the more I was just blown away.
Why don't you stop talking out of your dad's mouth and talk out of your own, for once?
Nice work.
Nice work.
That Shia kid's good.
Holy crap! I've never been so sucked in by this material before. That's gotta say something. I've seen it a million times, and I'm like, he's yelling at him. You know, I'm like, I'm so drawn in by it. It's great. By the end of the day, there was no question in anyone's mind that we needed to get this kid for Kelly.
Good news.
What's that?
Shia, we're going to him.
Yay!
With casting so up in the air right now, we really need to focus on areas that we can control, like hiring key crew members.
I'll sit here.
The most essential crew member, especially in a first-time director situation, is the DP or the director of photography. They are in charge of the entire look of the movie.
We set up a meeting for Thomas Ackerman to come in, who's, done Beetlejuice, done Jumanji, which are, some really big movies.
You had a chance to look at the script?
I got it, I read it, and frankly, I liked it very much.
Did you have any idea visually how you might want to attack a story like this?
It really calls for kind of an edgy approach. There needs to be some choreography here.
He's been in the business for a lot of years, that he's done huge jobs. He can bring so much to the table. We had high hopes that you'd come in here and say all the right things and would want to do it, yeah.
Well, this is one of those projects that you do because you really want to do it. This is really about the love of the work.
For one, I'm really excited about the prospect of working with you, so. I, for two, am thrilled. Yeah.
It's very interesting to see Kyle and Ephraim finally respect somebody, especially after the way they dealt with Larry Sher.
He's everything you want and we want. Yeah. Let's get him! Go get him!
Thomas?
So we hired Tom Ackerman. Everybody's very relieved to have such an incredible and accomplished DP on board.
What I wanted to do today was have a meeting with the directors, Jeff, me, and Erica, about the script. Erica turned in a new draft, and so we wanted to sort of talk about it before we turned it into what's called the white pages, which is sort of the official draft for everybody.
There's only one thing I really want to talk about, because it worries me a lot. It's the likability of Kelly. He's pretty much a prick in most of the scenes. I just want to make sure that you empathize with him. What I'm afraid of is you're going to end up with a dude who, in the action of this script, reenacts wars, pisses everybody off at high school, comes home, yells at his parents, who seem nice enough and do whatever, goes out and bitches about, pretty much everything, is rude to them.
Sounds like everyone I knew in high school.
Right, but I think you knew them in high school. You grew up with them.
Erica actually has written a story that is something very personal to Erica.
Kelly is like me. I mean, his words are my words, but he says the things that I think. He actually has the courage to say them.
And I feel like I see enough of Kelly being a smart aleck to everybody, and I wouldn't mind having a scene where he was just straight about what was on his mind.
I don't feel defensive about Chris at all, and I don't feel defensive about Jeff at all. The only thing is Kyle and Ephraim. Like if they say, yeah, actually, that's something I've been thinking for a while, but I, hadn't brought it up or something, and I think, oh, now's a convenient time to bring it up,
The scene where he brings the painting in to Grandma Ling has never fully worked for me.
Not to mention, it's slightly racist, although I agree with it.
Sure, yeah, and let's, let's not have them smoke, let's not have them cuss, let's not have there be any people of other races unless we celebrate them. Let's have it be a completely, but I mean...
Wow, it all unravels since I didn't like that one scene.
Yeah.
I was a little bit worried towards the end that Erica was reaching the end of her rope as far as how much she wanted the script to change.
I would never describe script meetings as particularly fun for me. Yeah, I've been sitting here taking fucking criticism for 2 hours, and it ain't easy.
I feel like there's a way to make it turn the corner with that.
I just want to see what follows.
Well, but do you guys agree that it should turn the corner, or do you want the sequence to end just...
Oh, shit! You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine, but
Someone's gonna be upset.
That was awesome.
That was a breakaway chair.
Well, at least it was me who broke the chair.
Damn.
I can't tell now. I guess it was a real chair. But
What were you saying in that moment? Probably.
Yeah.
That's what we should go with.
Was whether it should be absolute humiliation or whether it should come back around. Sit down gingerly. And you guys should just keep trying to talk as much as you can and try and get the draft to reflect both of the situations and see where the meeting of the minds can be.
Talking about these changes and stuff.
I could get together with you today. I would expect Kyle could too.
Maybe at some point today or tonight we'll do that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, cool. It's just to get started on it, you know?
Okay. After the meeting, we went and had lunch with Jeff Bayless. We kind of got his beat on how we should facilitate the rewriting process.
There's the version of the script that she has put on paper, and then there's the version that's in our heads that we're going to be directing from.
We were looking for ways to try to expedite the process of getting our notes to Erica and making it clear what it was that we had in our minds. Because ultimately, when we're directing these scenes, it's going to be how we see it. Maybe we should work on a version that never even see the light of day. An idea that Kyle and I had was to maybe get a copy of the file for the screenplay and to make an alternate version where we could just make the changes so that when we're having a script meeting with Erica, that we could actually show her what we were thinking.
It's gonna scare the shit out of her. She's gonna look at it as like, this is gonna be the first step in her being removed from the process.
No, I don't want to take her out of the process. What I want to do is for her to give us a chance to express on paper, in a copy of the draft, what it is that we're thinking.
I mean, you're basically completely disempowering her when you take that script off of her computer and put it onto yours.
I'm nervous about Kyle and Ephraim alienating Erica because I think that her creative vision is essential to capturing the essence of the film.
You know, she's had all this time to do it herself. Well, now give us a chance to express in writing where our heads are at.
I'm still a little bit confused. Are you talking about just wall to wall through the entire script? This scene, I'd tweak this line like that.
Some scenes I think need to be completely rewritten, and I think Erica agrees. And she's working on trying to figure out how to make them play. Why not let us have a crack at it at the same time?
The way you guys handle this is going to determine largely how your relationship with Erica is for the rest of the project. You very well may need her along the ride. We don't have to love each other, but that said, you don't want to be in a relationship where you guys hate each other.
Well, I certainly don't want to do anything that would freak her out. I just think when we get back to the office, let's just call Erica. I'll just go sit in the conference room and just hash all this shit out. Just on a broad statement is just that I understand. We all know that you created Kelly, but the problem is for us to direct and bring life to Kelly. You need to introduce us to Kelly and then let us take him away and form our own opinion of Kelly. I mean, I know it's painful. There is kind of a passing off of the baton at this point where, it needs to be a marriage of the way we see her script and the way she has always seen her script.
I didn't know this was a discussion about that. I thought this was a discussion about, trying to come up with a moment that we could all agree here, but maybe you guys should just write it, I mean, is that sort of what you were saying there, or what? I mean, because if you're saying that you can't direct this, and that we can't have a discussion about it, what are you saying?
I'm open to writing a version of this and giving it to you. Would you be averse to us bringing, if we each did a version and just brought it to the table and just to give us something to talk about? I think it would better inform the discussion.
When I suggested that Kyle and Ephraim maybe rewrite the scene themselves, that was one of those kind of threats that you make. And then when they say, good, we've been waiting for you to suggest that. And I sort of thought, ooh, if that really happened, it could go downhill.
Email from Chris Moore. In no way can they write their version of the script. They can fight with Erica and they can present their version to us and Miramax and we can decide, but they cannot write pages to be officially included in the script unless Erica is fired or quits. Please tell them this.
What started to become apparent was that their hope was to be able to control it all and do it themselves. Take the computer and the script and retype it, and then they would give it to us and say, this is what we want to go do. And that just doesn't work. Directors have to be able to communicate with everybody who's working on the movie, especially the writer.
Well, I mean, maybe, you know, if it's something, you know, and I'm not saying this yet, but I mean, maybe you guys should write a version of it, you know, because I'm just having a hard time right now seeing the middle ground. I think I might be nearing the end of my enjoyment of this process.
You can just feel the tension was building in the room a little bit. I could tell at some point she was losing it a bit.
The reason we want you involved in this process is because your voice is what created this script. It's important to me, I know it's important to Chris, that you're not marginalized in this process.
Okay,
the three of us were figuring out how we can work this out with only 3 weeks left to go, and I feel like you're coming in and you're fucking with that. Like, we were just starting to get to a place where we're like, okay, maybe we can try this, let's try that, and you're like, no, 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 no.
But also, I was very sad about the idea of you writing something.
Oh, well, you didn't say that. Well, that's important for you to say.
Well, I just said it.
To him, not to us. I mean, if he hadn't come in, it would have been, I would have had no idea that you were sad about it.
I mean, I walked in the room having not heard anything, and I saw sad.
You saw sad?
Yeah, which is why I've inserted myself in this process. Like I said, I'm very happy to leave.
I don't want you to feel bullied into doing anything that you don't feel comfortable doing.
No, I understand that. I know you mean well, and it is definitely a strange thing.
We can just admire where she's coming from. She wants to see her name up on the screen, you know, written by Erica Beeney, and know that it was her at the typewriter. And I'm totally into that, and I want to help facilitate that process. All right, shall we adjourn this meeting?
Yeah.
It was a miracle that the directors, the studio, and the producers all wanted Shia LaBeouf to play Kelly. So we were dismayed when Shia's manager called and said there was a problem.
Joseph, it's a problem. We've got a big fucking problem here.
But he wants to do it, right?
Personally, my instinct right now is for him not to do your film. The big gamble here, Joseph, is does he not have the opportunity to promote a film that I think he's going to get nominated for in Holes?
Shia is on another movie that comes out at the same time we're shooting, so Disney wants him free for publicity. It's an all-win situation, mostly if they can make out the dates work out for his publicity on it. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong at all.
And it's a great script.
As I said to Laura all along, the problem I've got here, Laura, is that you have a fantastic script. I love the story. We haven't talked about the director because...
Oh, the two guys?
You're right, Shia loved them.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't even like them, and I don't personally love them, but I think they're great directors.
Right.
So it's really just a question of the publicity. If they can work out the publicity, he would do that.
I would hope that he could.
There is an official offer out to Shia, and he has not officially passed yet.
I want this kid. There's no one that literally, I see the movie that we'd be making, and I see that movie fading away.
Today we're doing our first location scout where we actually have a production designer, we have a location manager, we have a first AD. We will be going to what we hope to be a place that we can shoot at a lot of different locations. It's called the Arboretum.
It's exciting for you, huh?
Yeah, this is cool.
I really wanted to be there because it was the first time to be able to see how Kyle and Ephraim interact with the crew.
Lead us. Amani is our location manager. She's been out there scouting, looking for places to shoot. She seems to be doing a really good job.
It goes up to the other side, where we're going to take you up and show you
It'd be great
on
to have all the
battlefield
guys.
area.
If we start with a long dolly move. Yeah, you can. Yeah, exactly. You got trees moving. You got people.
Do you think you want battlefield playback here?
The job of the first assistant director is coordinating and overseeing the schedule and making sure that we keep within the budgeted time frames.
We'll storyboard this scene out and let you know like what we have in mind.
Whenever we visit a location, I will go with the directors to hear what their plans are so that I can prepare.
On any given day, we load up the stake beds and bring them to the next place that we're going to be in.
There is an ebb and flow of logistical information as well as creative information, and each person on the scout lends a bit of a piece to the puzzle.
looking more.
Just thinking, like, trying to limit our scope of what we can see and yet still have a lot of little areas. Some of my favorite stuff was actually right off that road up there.
Out on Location Scout, Kyle and Ephraim really seemed to be in their element. They had strong opinions. They were really communicating those opinions well for the first time, and I was really encouraged.
This is pretty awesome. Yeah, this is great. So this week, we've got to cast this fucking movie.
Casting's totally up in the air. We're waiting to hear on Shia, and while we're doing that, we're trying to cast his parents. So we're hoping to go out to James Woods for Abe. Studio is still hoping for a big name for Eve, but currently we've got a lot of passes.
For the role of Eve, Kyle and I really wanted to go with Kathleen Quinlan because she came in and she was great and we really liked her work. But Miramax was pushing to go with Jane Kaczmarek, who's on Malcolm in the Middle, who we did not want to go to for this role because we didn't feel that she was right for it.
Miramax would like to overrule you guys and go to Jane Kaczmarek first.
Really? My first reaction is I would stick by my guns on this.
Yeah, this is one that I would fight too.
I felt I needed to be clear about how he felt. So Jeff Bayless got Laura Rister on a conference call.
Are you guys saying that you are still leaning towards Kathleen?
Yes. That's the...
I called Jeff, this is Ephraim, because Kyle and I were concerned. We just weren't interested in Jane Kaczmarek for the role. So, at all, really. So, I mean, that's the way we felt for a while now. So it keeps coming up, and so I just want to make that clear. It has nothing to do with how good of an actress Jane Kaczmarek is. We just didn't feel she was right for the role.
Okay. Well, with that information, let me suss it out.
All right, cool, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
We were thinking of doing the old folks' home outside and not trying to dress a whole interior set. And
Could be beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
That
awesome.
might be simpler.
All right, well, I didn't really want to interrupt the process. Mark has got something for you.
The good news is you're getting a car.
Oh, great.
The bad news is they're going to give you a Mini, and it's yellow.
A yellow Mini?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just it's not a style thing. It was just I needed a vehicle.
I'm kidding.
Okay. Erica relocated here from Ohio, and she didn't have a vehicle, so the promotions department set her up with a convertible Beamer, just temporarily during the shoot. And I saw that, and I'm like, hey, I'm driving around a little Eagle Summit that leaks more fluids than it holds. So I asked for a vehicle a couple of weeks ago.
They're going to give you a Land Rover.
Okay, great. No. Yeah. What? You got a Land Rover? Jesus, Abe. So on Monday, I went over and picked up a 2003 Range Rover, which is crazy. The thing is tricked out like the space shuttle.
These are your presets for your radio. There are seat heaters right here.
That's ridiculous. This will definitely make a better movie. I did not want to take a lot of time out of the day. I just wanted to run over, pick up the car, and come back. And I am spending like 2 or 3 hours over there.
We have a script meeting planned with Erica.
The more stuff I get, the better the movie will be.
Welcome to Hollywood.
Yes. We're not meeting at all.
Yeah, it's just too little time and not, yeah, energetically. Energetically, you're an asshole.
No, you're not pissed at me because I went and did that, do you? Right? No, it was a lot longer than I expected. Hello.
Hey, Joseph, it's Charlie. Laura's message is that we have to go to Jane Kaczmarek.
I love this.
That needs to be done tonight.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Charlie.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Can I tell them?
Why are you so excited? You just want her, or you want to just bust them, or what's the story?
I told them from the very beginning, don't be surprised if Miramax decides that they know what's best and they're going to make an offer. Sometimes it will just happen.
Here's the thing. I like her a lot. Right. I have no problem with her creatively. I have a problem with offers going out without them knowing it.
What if we see
Excuse me, guys. I need to borrow the directors for a couple minutes. That's okay. The thing is, Miramax wants to go to Jane Kaczmarek. No, not offered up for discussion.
Oh, it's so sort of we're being ripped out of the decision?
Yeah, me too.
Basically.
You know, the 2 different times I talked to Laura about how he felt about
Jane Kaczmarek, there didn't seem to be any hesitation like, well, guys, you know, it was always just like, okay, great, all right, we know where you stand, and it was always seemed very kind of cut and dry in that respect. Why the sudden turnaround?
My feeling is that it's probably just a panicky situation. It's, what the fuck are you guys doing? You have a movie that's shooting in 10 days, and you have no cast. Who are you talking about? Well, we want Jane Kaczmarek. Go to Jane Kaczmarek. Well, I don't care, go to Jane, you know, something like that is how
You know what?
I suspect.
I bet that's exactly how it went down.
It's frustrating to basically have creative decisions snatched away from you. It's very frustrating.
She should have been pulled out of the fucking running. We have been saying unequivocally that we don't want her, and she's still, and people are still, whatever rung of the ladder it went up to, and someone says, I want her, she was still on the fucking list when it got there.
You have to understand, though, that you have power only up to a certain point. They're first-time directors, and they don't get whatever they want. They're getting, as I am, and I'm sure you guys are, panicked about the fact that we don't have a cast. And that's really what it is.
I'm willing to just offer to Kathleen. What would they say if we're like, well, we'll leave the project or whatever? I mean, you're 8 days away with no directors. I mean, what?
Is it really worth it to quit the movie and probably prevent themselves from ever directing a movie in Hollywood ever again? Do you think that the role of Eve is worth quitting the movie over?
I just think, what is the point of...
Or is it just that fight that you
What's happening here is not what Project Greenlight is about, you know?
Sure it is. It's about you're making a small studio film. It's a business decision, and they want to make their money back. If this was 5 weeks earlier, you'd be able to say no. But a week and a half away, they're freaked out. They don't really care anymore, and yes, they could say, fine, quit.
Ultimately, the test of what it was going to be was calling Chris Moore.
So Chris, we're here, you know, basically got the word that we have to make the offer to Jane Kaczmarek, and the guys don't want to do that.
Okay, well, I mean, you guys, I hate to say it this way, but we can look for another director on the project if that's how you feel.